He says that a lot, but yeah, but I actually love his show, and I don't know, like he does go. Like I said, like lately, it's been all like crushing Matt Harmon in the reception perception, and Tyler Lockett's the next Allen Robinson, and
right. But I don't know, Matt Kelly. We cannot take away Matt Harmon did call Allen Robinson. He called him. According to Matt Harmon's process, he had Allen Robinson as being a top 15 wide receiver, top whatever wide receiver, and he was. He turned out to be that. So his process was working. Matt Kelly has touted Jeff Janis since I could remember, and he's not good. So whose process is really working? And the good Michael Thomas, which was, according to Matt Kelly, is the LA Rams Michael Thomas, not the actually good Michael Thomas, which is the New Orleans Saints Michael Thomas. So he hated the New Orleans Saints Michael Thomas, and he loved the LA Rams Michael Thomas. But whatever. Nobody's 100%. But I get what Matt Kelly's doing. I get it, and I respect it. I can dig it. That's his shtick. That's his hashtag brand.
It is. I mean, because like I said, I listen to every single show that he does, and like I said, some stuff I'm just kind of like, all right, shut up. Like you're going
right. When I was on his show, he had me on his show, and when he asked me, I'm like, oh man, I hope I don't get into a fight with this dude. You know what I mean? Because he could be confrontational. Yeah. And I did all my homework, and when we're on the show, he was mad cool off air and he was just real cool. He's like, yeah, just have fun, go with it, and whatever. And then I could tell that he was reading, like all his rants are written down on his computer. I could tell he was saying his, going through his, he went on some rant, I forgot. And I was just sitting back. I muted my mic. I was sitting back and just laughing because he was just like, his computer is like right here. His camera was right here and his computer's right here. And I see him. He's just got, and this guy, and what about this guy? And this guy's an idiot or whatever the hell he was going on some rant. And it was funny. I mean, I enjoy it, but it's a shtick,
He was, I remember him being very respectful to us too when we had him on for the NFL draft, I believe, right? Something like that.
And leading up to the draft. Yeah, and somehow, like, I don't remember exactly what. I think he got into it with Travis, which was one of our guys. And Travis was like, I don't know, like it was like a little like overboard, like kind of like called him out. Like, and like we're doing this live, you know what I mean? It was like it was completely out of line for Travis because like I didn't really think what he said was like really all that bad, but I could tell like Travis didn't care for him anyways, like when it started. Which was stupid.
Isn't Travis the one that got him on the show?
Yeah, and Travis is the one that got everybody on the show. So like I didn't understand it, but
I think I can't. Didn't I come on with you guys on the draft?
Yeah.
I was drunk.
And you were still better than every other guest we had.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I mean, if you can't have fun, then why do it, right?
We had this one guy who was just, like we cursed and stuff, but he was cursing like every other word. And then Kev puts in the chat, "Fuck, that was horrible," not knowing the guy could still see the chat.
Oh no! Who was it?
It was the guy who does Fantasy Couch Coach.
Fantasy Couch Coach. Oh.
He pretty much disappeared during the season.
Did he?
I don't know where he went. But
all right. Do you guys know Andy Singleton?
Yes.
I mean, are you guys like relatives or anything like that?
No.
I have no idea who he even is.
Nickel Press or whatever?
Yes, the Nickel Press dude. Like, listen, he's a nice guy, right? I'll say this right off the bat. He's a very nice guy. We had him on the show. He was the absolute worst guest we've ever had. It was like pulling teeth. He's sitting there watching a hockey game. We're talking, like we're recording. Like, hey, what do you guys think about Bilal Powell? Like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You give your takes. You try to do it. And he's like, wait, what? Who? Yeah, he's all right. I'm like, this motherfucker, man. This son of a, like, and then he's trying to break balls. So he wanted me on the Nickel Press or whatever, right? Some game show thing he's got going on. I'm like, all right, fine, but I can't do Tuesdays. Like we record at the time we were recording our podcast on Tuesdays, and Tuesdays is the only day we can do it. what the F? Why don't you change? Can you reschedule your podcast? And I'm like, no, but Tuesday's the only day we can do it. Whatever. I'm a prima donna. I'm like, but I can't. I could do any other day. Any other day. At any other time past 8 o'clock. Except Tuesdays. Any other day. Sundays. You want to do Sundays? I'll do Sundays. I can't do it. He goes, you're by far the most needy guest I've ever had. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do us a favor. Let's just, find somebody else. And I don't need this. I don't need you to call me a needy prima donna because I said I can't do it on Tuesdays. So
like he was getting paid for this or something.
Right.
You should be thankful for anybody that ever wants to come on a show. And if they can't do it, they can't do it. Or if you can't accommodate, you can't accommodate. Like, you don't.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
go back at the person and like they're the asshole or something.
Right. And then get this. He was like, fine, we'll reschedule. So the next day he goes, do you have a problem with Carl Savchek or somebody else? And they both don't like me. And I was like, I don't have a problem with Carl, but Carl has an issue with me. He goes, oh my God, seriously? What the hell? What the F is up with you? And I'm like, are you kidding me? With me? I'm just letting you know Carl doesn't like me. I'll go on a show with Carl. I don't give a fuck. But I was the problem. I was like, you know what? Just let's really forget about this now. So
why would he have a problem with you?
Carl?
You're like one of the nicest people in the fantasy community. I don't understand why anybody
would. I appreciate that. No, well, he gets offended very easily. So I said, in New York City, I'm like, I got to find some way to get a gun. I need to protect. I want to protect my family, right? So I need to get a gun. I want to go through the steps. Why would you do that? Grow up. If you have a child that's irresponsible of you, basically call me a bad parent if I had a gun in the house. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That makes no sense. And then of course my sarcastic asshole, I can get snippy too. So he just didn't like that. And I'm like, this guy is always offended. He's a social justice warrior about everything. You can't say anything blue or borderline with him. And I talked about guns. I mean, seriously. And he's like, no, more kids are shot by guns and this and that. I'm like, I protect my. Oh, you trying to say that I'm going to be a bad father because I brought a legal gun into my house? How many great parents have guns in their houses? I mean, this is ridiculous. And he didn't like it, so he unfollowed me.
Especially if you go through the steps in New York City, it's hard as fuck to get a gun in New York City.
It's ridiculously hard. Yeah,
it's near impossible.
Right.
If you can get through all that, you're fine.
What are we gonna do? What are you gonna do? You can't please everybody.
Nope. But we're gonna start a fantasy football podcast because we are
late.
Kev was worried about not having enough content, and that'll never be the case because we all know how to talk.
No, we got content. I got up to buys and sells. We're good.
All right. Let me hit record here, and then I have to remember to hit on YouTube. We are live.
Ooh.
I don't know if you're joining us. Probably not. Except for us. We'll be the ones watching the YouTube video.
And my mom.
And your mom, yeah.
At least your mom watches you. At least your mom supports you. My mom hates me.
Hey, you got an Italian mother that hates you? Is that real?
No, she loves my brother more, but that's neither here nor there. No, she hates me. She loves my brother.
October 25th, which is today. Why is this not going a video?
On YouTube?
Yeah. Did the video start for you on YouTube, Kev? Or you not have it up?
I don't have it up. It says it's live though.
Yeah, no, it says it's live on here, so I guess. Yeah, we actually ended up having more viewers on Sunday than I thought. More than the previous Sunday, at least. Which was good. Events. Schedule a new event. I don't like this fucking YouTube streaming shit.
Yeah, it's on. It's live.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cursed on air. There we go. Kev's not the only one now.
I gotta watch out.
Live event will begin in a few minutes.
Huh?
I don't know. It doesn't say it's live. It says this event will begin in a few minutes. Tap to retry. I don't know.
This is so stupid. Stream status. In the current configuration, the video's primary and backup streams have different keyframe frequencies.
You know what that means? I have no idea what that means.
No, and we're streaming through Google Hangouts, so we don't have any control over that. So Google's pretty much yelling at itself because I have no control over that. All right, whatever. I mean, I have the Audacity going and everything, so that's all that matters. All right, we will get started. Ready?
It's picking us up, right? So we don't have to worry about that, like Audacity?
Yeah, Audacity's picking us up. As long as that's picking us up, that's all that matters.
Okay. Just want to make sure. Didn't want to be like, don't they be like, son of a bitch. You're not going to believe this, but
my biggest
didn't record anything.
Let me tell you, that is my biggest fear. Just at the end of the day, going and listening back, and there's nothing there. just like, what the hell am I supposed to do? All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Fantasy Authority Podcast, brought to you by thefantasyauthority.com. I am your host, Anthony Penzone, and tonight I welcome one of our usual suspects, Kevin Steele, lifelong Kansas City Chief fan, lover of all guys that I hate, including Jeremy Hill, and probably going to get in an argument with me tonight about one of our topics. How you doing tonight, Kev?
Not bad.
Lots of stuff going on today, but one of the biggest news of the night is we welcome back guest Dynasty Frank to the show. How you doing, Frank? What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas? Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back. So we're all sitting here. We're watching the World Series and trying to focus on fantasy football. Now, it might be a little easier for some of us than others. Frank, you and I have really no interest in baseball whatsoever, other than the fact that the World Series.
Right.
Kev, I think you're a little more invested in baseball than we are.
Yeah, but I'm not really so much worried about I'm actually more excited about the NBA startings with DFS than I am with the World Series. So,
I'm not excited about the NBA at all. I'm a Knicks fan. This is not good. Except Porzingis, the truth. That's about it.
Well, man. Well, you guys were in the game until I just now refreshed and down by almost 20. So.
Oh wow! Last I looked, we were down by 9, but that's great. Good. Knicks right back where they belong. Right on starting off where they left off.
Great year for New York sports teams, huh? So
yeah.
The Mets barely missed the playoffs. They can't even get in. They can't beat the who the heck they play? Buck Showalter's team there, right?
Orioles?
Yeah, the Orioles. Gosh, and the Jets suck. The Giants they're the Giants.
They won. Landon Collins, beast.
What's your nickname? I love your nickname. Go ahead, say it.
What, London Collins? London Collins from the faraway town. Whatever the hell that song is.
I have no idea what's happening. I've lost control already. We're 2 minutes into the episode.
That happens. It happens.
Oh, man. We have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. Of course, we're talking about Week 7 and the biggest stories heading into Week 8. A surprise retirement up there. That we'll get to that in a second. We're going to give you some streaming options. We have a lot of great streaming options for you here in Week 8. You're probably going to need them with a number of injuries and bye weeks coming up. We have our Best of the Rest segment covering the guys who are available after your waiver wire goes through. And then we're going to do another round of buy, sell, cut. We actually just did buy, sell, cut 2 weeks ago, but a lot has changed already. So we're going to give you some people to trade for, people to trade away, and people that are not even worth anything. And you can just cut them. Just get rid of them. Adios, amigos. Let's get into the surprise retirement, guys. Arian Foster of my Miami Dolphins says he does not have the heart to go through another rehab after injuring himself yet again. Says he's decided to hang up the cleats at the age of 30. It was surprising. Nobody was reporting it until it happened. What do you guys think of this? Is he a potential Hall of Famer based on his short 8-year career?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't have his stats in front of me, but what did they say? The smell test? Does he pass the smell test? No. I mean, if I have to think about, is Marshawn Lynch a Hall of Famer in your eyes? Because I think Marshawn Lynch is a better running back than Arian Foster. And if Marshawn Lynch isn't a Hall of Famer, then Arian Foster definitely isn't. And is it really a surprise he retired? He should have kind of retired last year. I mean, did we expect? There was a running joke that he had, 50, 75 carries in him. After 75 touches, he was going to, fizzle out or break something else. I don't know. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call him a Hall of Famer, but I will say this. I guess my memory of Arian Foster is back in 2009 with the last 4 weeks of the season when he kind of his rookie year, undrafted free agent, kind of blew up. And then I remember drafting him in 2010. And, that was a lot of – back in 2010, there wasn't Twitter wasn't really so much a thing, and you didn't have so much fantasy, coverage and everything else. Because I remember when I drafted Arian Foster that year, people were like, "Who? Who the hell is Arian Foster?" Didn't even know who he is, and obviously he was the RB1 that year. That was the year he broke out for 2,200 total yards and 18 touchdowns. But I don't know, it sucks because the guy, certainly is one of the more talented running backs we've ever seen, but. And I really feel like we're not doing this justice. I feel like we should have Sarah McLachlan, "I Will Remember You" or something playing in the background or something. But,
I will remember you. Go ahead, Kev. I got you.
But yes,
me.
I can't even. But no, he's just never was able to stay healthy, right? 2011, he only played 13 games. 2012, he did play 16. But then in 13, he played 8 games, 14 games in 2014, and then obviously 4 games in 15. The dude was just never able to stay healthy. But, he was one of the more talented running backs that I've seen in the last 10 to 15 years. I think if you were going to say, who's top 5 running backs since 2010, he's certainly in that top 5 guys. But no, I think I would put, if it was me, obviously Adrian Peterson, I would put Jamal Charles ahead of him. But for me, that would probably be the list in terms of talent. Marshawn Lynch was certainly a beast, no doubt. But I don't know. I guess I just appreciate Arian Foster a little bit more
because he helped you win a championship. I always Megatron. I know Megatron. Whatever. I'll always love Megatron. He'll be my number one. He was 31 years old and OBJ, and I'm no, Megatron's number one. He's number. I was fighting people, even though when I knew in my heart that he wasn't. But anyway, yeah, I have my heart on players that helped me win a championship. I love them. But Arian Foster was a very, very good player for a while and then became a vegan. So I don't know what happened.
That was me with LaDainian Tomlinson, though, man. I took him as a rookie after seeing him blow up the Senior Bowl, and I was in a one-person keeper league. No other team ever got LaDainian Tomlinson. I kept that guy every single year for his entire career, and I'm pretty sure everybody in that league hates me for it, but I don't care. I got him. As far as Foster retirement being a surprise, I don't think in general it's a surprise. I think the timing is a little surprising. He just got back from said injury and was becoming a part of the offense again. But let's face it, Ajayi is the running back to go to down there. So I think he just kind of saw the writing on the wall. He only got 2 carries last game and maybe 1 the game before. So,
yeah,
best of luck to him. As far as Marshawn Lynch in the Hall of Fame, if Terrell Davis can't get in the Hall of Fame, I have very little chance that Foster or Lynch gets in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah, I agree.
Other running back news, we have 2 hamstring injuries. Oh, yay. These freaking hamstrings. I can't take it, man. LaShawn McCoy, Tevin Coleman. LaShawn McCoy re-injures the hamstring. He looked awful anyways. He should never been playing in that game. And Tevin Coleman exits the game with a hamstring injury. Even if he does play this weekend, tough matchup. And it's a hamstring. He's a running back. You need those.
Well, hopefully the Falcons don't make the same mistakes that Rex Ryan did. I have no idea what the hell Rex Ryan was thinking, even trotting LaShawn McCoy out there. There's no way it goes from multi-week injury to, he's good to go. He's good. We're going to let him run. And, like, it made no sense. Like, everybody was saying, like, no, you shouldn't play him. You should sit him and, give him a little bit of time to rest, because that's exactly what they did to him last year. They rushed him back, and then he got re-injured. And they did the same thing this year, and it made no sense. Like, on paper, they should have been able to beat Miami without LaShawn McCoy, right? I mean, obviously we know now that didn't happen, but still, they didn't need LaShawn McCoy to make that happen. They should have had the pieces to be able to beat Miami without him. And now, if he's out for, with it being a hamstring injury, and if he could be out 2 or 3, 4 weeks, something like that, and it just sets him back even further. So I don't know. Rex Ryan is just a pure dumbass, in my opinion.
Yeah, he did the same thing with Mark Sanchez. He put him in a meaningless preseason in the fourth quarter, and then he gets injured. Like, Rex Ryan just does things I don't know. Nobody understands. But Shady should have never came back. He's a hamstring. You got a bye week next week. You were facing the 30th ranked Miami rush defense. Did you have to rush him back? Did you have to? Mike Gillislee, like everybody everybody was saying, play Mike Gillislee, DFS, Miami ranked defense. Buffalo stunk up the joint. They couldn't run for anything. What did Gillislee have? 5 carries for 20 yards? Seriously? Well, 8 carries for 11 yards, and Reggie Bush had 1 carry, 1 yard, and the touchdown, of course, to troll everybody. But
the problem was they waited way too long to put Gillislee in. Gillislee's first carry of the day was a 10-yard scamper right up the middle.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if they would have started him from the get-go, I have no faith that my Dolphins would have been able to win that game, or that they would have even been in the game, because they can't stop a guy a fully healthy guy like Gillislee. Or if McCoy was healthy, we wouldn't have stood a chance. But, luckily, we play who we play, and the Bills have terrible coaching and a ton of injuries. So,
and Ajayi is Ajayi.
Ajayi. There's so many questions about Ajayi on Sunday, and I kept saying, I don't know, man. It's Buffalo. I don't know if you should play him. 200 yards again.
You can't question him anymore. I mean, that's probably why Henry Foster retired too. He's like, he's watching the game, going, "Oh my God, this guy." Even if I come back, I'm not, supplanting Ajayi. So let me just go to the beach, I guess. But Ajayi looks like he's a 4th player, right? Behind Earl Campbell, OJ Simpson, and and Ricky Williams. It's a 4th player to go 200 yards back to back.
Hey, 3 of them were Dolphins. How about that?
Nice.
I don't know if Simpson was playing for the Dolphins at the time, but he was a Miami Dolphin.
He did it twice. O.J. Simpson did it twice.
Did he really?
Yeah. Wow. Supposedly, that's what I heard on the radio.
Too bad he's such a freaking nutcase, right? Jesus.
A murderer. Yeah. Let's just call him what he is, a murderer.
Gets away with murder, and then he goes to jail for stealing merchandise.
Are you kidding me? You literally got away with murder. Who does that? Gets away with murder, and then you go to jail for 25 to life for pointing a gun, right? Wasn't he embezzling? Not embezzling. He was
trying to steal back his football stuff that he sold, I guess, to a museum or something, and he broke in and tried to take it back.
Well, no, he didn't sell it. It was in he had it in a storage container, and I think the storage container got seized or something. And some people that were supposed to take grab some of the stuff for him, this guy grabbed his shit, and then he was holding on to it and trying to sell it. And that's when him and his buddies tried to rush in the room and whatever.
One of them had a gun, a loaded gun or something, and then automatically they all get armed robbery and 25 years or something crazy. Yeah. Idiot. What are you gonna do?
How about we talk about some shitty quarterbacks? How about that?
Yeah, we could do that.
Brian Hoyer breaks his arm, so there goes that. The end of an era there. Not really, but that's the end of the freaking Chicago Bears season. And Jay Cutler is. There's a note here from Kev that says Jay Cutler is your fantasy savior, and I can't help but laugh. I can't even. I can't even say it, Kev.
You got to be. Hey, he's definitely better than Barkley. And if you're a Cam Meredith or Alshon Jeffrey owner, you have to feel at least okay, it could be a whole lot worse. It could be Matt Barkley. Not that Jay Cutler is really that much, that much better. But I don't know. It's Jay Cutler. I mean, it was hilarious that it was like almost inevitable that as soon as Brian Warrior went down, magically Jay Cutler's healthy and ready to come back and play. I don't know.
I can just picture him like with a cigarette. It's like, all right, my thumbs are okay. I guess we're gonna go. I guess I'm gonna play. I guess I'm playing quarterback. I guess I'm playing quarterback.
His comments were so funny today because somebody asked him a question along the lines of, do you feel like you have the coaching staff's backing or something like that? He's like, they have no choice.
I know everybody hates Jay Cutler, but I love Jay Cutler, man. As long as he's not a quarterback in my team, I'm okay with it. But I love Jay Cutler. He don't give up. Don't care. I love it.
That's the problem, right? He's out there. He's like, I'm making millions of dollars to throw this fucking ball and not even throw it well. I've stolen so much money from the Bears and the Broncos. It's not even funny.
He's like in the pocket going through his progressions. Like, all right, whatever. Just throwing it. Triple covered. Looks good.
Speaking of triple covered, Geno Smith era came to a quick halt after leaving with a knee injury. He tore his ACL, it looks like. He's out for the year, so it's the Ryan Fitzpatrick era. Again, Geno Smith lasted like a quarter.
And he did good. Anunwa, nice catch, pitch and catch right there.
Anunwa had no catches the rest of the game.
Of course, because Fitzpatrick was in the game.
Fitzpatrick came back. And then after the game, Fitzpatrick rips the GM, the coach, and the owner of the team. And what do the Jets do? Ryan Fitzpatrick is our starter going forward.
What are you going to do? Turn to Petty? I mean, I don't know. Like,
what 2-5? Come on. It's over. You're in the same division as the Patriots.
Right.
No, they're 3-4, ain't they? Are they 3-4? They won last week.
Yeah, the second win. They were 1-5, 2-5 now.
The thing is, these guys are real NFL coaches and players, and the coach, the whole team, the whole organization can't come out week 7 or week 8 and say, yeah, you know what? We're giving up. Forget about everything. We're paying Fitzpatrick, Fitztragic, $12 million to sit on our bench, and we're going to try Petty. I think once they're eliminated, like week, 10, 11, 12, that's when we'll start seeing the Pettys, then Hackenbergs, and see what they have, because neither Geno Smith nor Fitztragic is going to be on this team anymore.
Is it giving up, though? I mean, we're seeing young quarterbacks this year succeed more than ever. I mean, that may speak more about the state of the quarterback than anything else at this point. But
we're not seeing the number 1 overall pick.
It's true, but we're not seeing Jared Goff. But Fitzpatrick threw 9 interceptions in 2 games. Yeah. Bryce Petty probably won't do that.
Probably. We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know that he's worse than Fitzpatrick either.
That's true. But Woody Johnson's pulling all these strings. It's all Woody Johnson. And that's kind of what basically they implied. That's what Fitztragic was implying before, that his coaching staff basically caved to Woody putting Geno in because why is he slipping my name? His name is slipping my mind. The head coach for the Jets. Bowles. Sorry. Supposedly wanted to stay with Fitzpatrick, and Woody Johnson's like, this guy's killing us. We got to make a move. And then they started Geno Smith, and then he tears an ACL. And Joe Namath rips him because he's standing on the sideline. You see that Twitter? That Joe Namath rips Geno Smith for standing on the sideline. If you have an injury while you're standing on the sideline.
Yeah, and then I think what was his response after he found out it was a torn ACL or something like my bad or something like that?
He goes, can somebody please tell Joe that it's not my decision. It's up to the doctors, but I still love him. Something like that.
I can't stand Joe Namath. The guy drives me friggin' crazy. He's funny. Give him that.
Funny.
Oh, man. I think that about covers the news for the week. Not a lot happening. I mean, unless you want to talk about the Sunday night game, which I guess is being considered good football. It was boring as shit, if you ask me. Last night's game, Osweiler's terrible. He's awful.
Terrible.
Trevor Simeon's a better quarterback at this point, but he also has a better support. It doesn't matter. I don't care about his supporting cast. At least he's showing some confidence out there when he's throwing the ball. Osweiler looks like a little kid trying to.
Brock has Nuke, Fuller or Nuck, however you want to pronounce it. Nuck, Fuller, and Lamar Miller. I mean, how much more do you need? This guy stinks. Stinks to high hell.
And DeAndre Hopkins is having just an atrocious fantasy season. He had fantasy success with Ryan Mallett and Brian Hoyer throwing him the ball. But he has none with Osweiler.
Crazy.
Oy.
Yeah, well, he's not getting the targets that he was. I mean, he was just peppered with targets last year, and this year it's not really happening. It's being distributed a little bit more evenly, and they actually have a running game. But Brock Osweiler, and I said it as soon as the move happened, is that this is going to be the worst move in history. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass, and I've so far I look like I'm right because Brock Osweiler is not even a competent NFL quarterback. He has no business being a starting NFL quarterback. So I don't know. I don't even know what the heck Houston Texans are going to do. They should have stuck with Brian Hoyer, which I can't believe I'm saying that.
Right.
But I mean, that's the honest to God truth. Or Brock Osweiler should have just stayed in Denver and just been like, you know what, I'm cool. I'll stay with this defense. I'll take a little less money and been cool with it. Now, I don't know. Like I haven't looked that deep into the contract, but I don't know if the Texans can get out of it this year because they damn sure need to try.
I think they can get out of it after 2 years, from what I've been hearing.
Ugh.
So they have to go at least one more year. And they didn't even draft a quarterback, right? So it'll be interesting to see if they draft one this offseason, which they won't. That's Bill O'Brien's going to be gone before they draft a quarterback.
Yep. It's crazy. Bill O'Brien's going to be gone, but Jeff Fisher somehow still has a job.
He'll forever have a job. He's going to get an extension.
Unbelievable.
7-9, he's going to get an extension. Unbelievable. Even in Hard Knocks, he was like, I can't go 7-9 again, guys. I can't do it.
Yeah, you're going to go 6-10.
Yeah. Start your first overall pick for the long guys. Starting Case Keenum. You deserve to go 7-9.
You don't know, but the problem's not the quarterback. It's the wide receiver. That's what he said in the post game.
Yep.
Yeah. It's not the quarterback.
He said he'll change your wide receiver. He'll change wide receivers before he changes the quarterback.
I heard that, yeah. Did you see today there was some report, I don't know if it was him or somebody else on the staff, that said Todd Gurley is a part of the problem with the running game?
Dude. Seriously. It's like a kangaroo court. It's mind-boggling that these people could be NFL like executives. Like they're in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to laugh at them because they have more experience than I could ever imagine. But the team sucks. And Jeff Fisher hasn't won shit. The only time he won is when he had Eddie Jordan, Steve McNair, and Derek Mason.
Right. He was a yard away. 1 yard away from winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, seriously. All right, let's get into some tips for these guys for Week 8. Let's get some streaming options out there. Kev, since you put together most of the list, how about you start us off? Quarterback that they can start this week, get some good play out of it. I swear to God, if you say Alex Smith, I'm going to reach through the screen.
All right, so I think one of the top streaming options this week is going to be Alex Smith.
3 weeks in a row, by the way.
Hey, he wasn't bad last week. 214 yards and 2 touchdowns, sir. I mean, he was not terrible by any means. This week they go to Indy, another hashtag bad defense, and I don't know. Like I like what I see, exactly what I'm seeing from the Chiefs' offense. Yes, they have Spencer Ware, and obviously they're going to ride Spencer Ware until the wheels fall off. But Alex Smith, I think they're going to continue to stay aggressive. I know a lot of people have been concerned with like Jeremy Maclin, who hasn't really produced. But I think it's because they have far more weapons this year than they did last year. They have Tyreek Hill and Chris Conley and Travis Kelce and Spencer Ware and all these other weapons that they didn't have last year. But Alex Smith, so far, he hasn't been a terrible option on a week-to-week basis. And I think this is another week that you can go after him and really. There's a couple other guys that I would probably rank ahead of him, like in my rival rankings. But for me, I think he's one of the top options.
I like that. Alex Smith is averaging 251 yards a game. I think 1 touchdown versus Indianapolis's 25th ranked pass defense. They give up 281 yards a game. So, I'm totally with that. That would be my number 2 option, Kev.
Who would be your number 1?
My number 1 would be Winston. Jameis Winston. Boom. Against the worst passing defense in the league, Oakland. He averages. They give up an average of 302 yards a game. Winston averages 266 yards a game. He's got weapons galore. Mike Evans is just getting peppered with targets, and he's a beast. He's finally back from last year. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging this Winston. I'm gonna ride him.
Oh, I was actually surprised that he was still widely available in the ESPN leagues. Like, because if I went and looked on Yahoo, but I hate Yahoo and trying to look at their look at their ownership percentages, because I guess I didn't really realize this, but I guess in a lot of Yahoo leagues, they don't really have waivers. Like, you can immediately pick guys up. So it completely fools the ownership. Anyway, I was shocked that he was still available in that many, because if you look at Jameis Winston is not just a streaming option. He's a hold and a guy you can start on a weekly basis. At least, for the rest of the season. I think they have a couple of games in there, here and there, but their schedule, and then when you get the Saints week 14 and 16, sign me up all week for that. So I love Jameis Winston, and especially this week against the Oakland Raiders.
This schedule is ridiculous. Now, I'm not a huge Jameis Winston fan, but he has Oakland, Atlanta, Chicago, Kansas City, San Diego, New Orleans twice. What the hell, man?
That's nice.
That's got to be the best quarterback schedule in football.
Well, I have Rivers almost everywhere, and I kind of like his schedule damn it, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Do you have his schedule in front of you? Phil Rivers, San Diego's schedule?
Yep. So Denver, Tennessee, Miami, Houston, Tampa, Carolina, Oakland, Cleveland. Oh, yes, that's very – is there a tough matchup in that bunch? I don't think so.
Well, Denver this week, Denver sucks.
Oh, right, Denver this week.
Denver and Houston, but like 14, 15, and 16. I think it's Cleveland, Oakland,
Carolina.
And Carolina. Boom, right there. I love that. And Phil Rivers they throw constantly for everything. So, but anyway, going back to Winston, I have him starting a couple of spots this week, and I'm expecting a big game. If I'm not going to get a big game from Winston, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to blame him. I'm going to curse his name. What about you, Ant?
I got to say, if Josh McCown plays, I really like his matchup against the Jets, and I thought he looked really good in the one game that we saw him play. This poor guy can't stay healthy, but serviceable quarterback, bad defense he's going against. That Browns offense hasn't been as bad if you consider the things that they've been facing. They've played 6 quarterbacks this year already, and they continue to put up points. So it's not like they've been the old Cleveland Browns of the past where they've just been awful. He's got some weapons there. Corey Coleman might be back soon enough. He's got Terrell Pryor there, who has just been freaking phenomenal. Gary Barnage, Isaiah Crowell.
Do you have any concern, though, that he could actually make it through a game healthy? Because no Cleveland quarterback appears to be able to make it through one game healthy. And now, strange enough, now they're looking to trade their best offensive lineman and Joe Thomas. So, I don't know. I guess the Browns are just looking – I don't know what they're doing. They're guaranteeing they're going to have that number 1 pick. They're not going to let anybody screw that up for them.
Didn't Hugh say that he's not – he's not trading Joe Thomas at all? I think he came out and said that's not going to happen. There's no way. And if they get the number 1 pick, you think it's Deshaun Watson? It's got to be Deshaun Watson, right? Quarterback.
It's got to be. You can't have any faith in anybody else. Because they have some really interesting offensive pieces now. Not even talking about Josh Gordon anymore, but with Terrell Pryor and Corey Coleman, and Ricardo Lewis has looked okay. I think. He's not really a redraft guy. He'd be more somebody I'd probably look at in Dynasty, but. But yeah, they have the pieces there in the running game with Isaiah Crowell and Duke Johnson. So with a much better improved offensive line, a defense, and then if they can add a quarterback piece, and in a few years we could realistically be talking about the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs.
Nice.
They give Jackson the time, man. They just give the guy the time. They have that team that's on the field right now, playing the way they are, despite not having a win, is just fantastic. It's unbelievable.
That's Hugh. He's a good coach, man. I wanted the Giants to sign him. But now, of course, he's got to go to Cleveland. And we get Ben McAdoo. Never mind. Anyway, I digress.
Any other quarterbacks you guys like this week?
No, there's another quarterback on the list on the Google Doc, but I'm not touching him.
Which one?
Fitzpatrick?
In Cleveland, I like Fitz. I think he's pissed. You know, that stupid narrative. He's going to be pissed. He's going to be tossing the ball all over the place. I could see that going against Cleveland, 29th ranked pass defense. And there's another one, Tyrod versus New England. I'm not touching Tyrod at all.
I agree, but if I remember last year, didn't he? He played pretty well against New England last year. I mean, you expect them probably to be behind, and if LaShawn McCoy is out, you could see him, having to take obviously a little bit more into his own hands and not lean so much on the run. So I don't know. I think Tyrod's very interesting this week. I mean, New England's got a good defense. They're not great. It's not like you're afraid of their defense, but I don't know. The problem is they don't have Sammy Watkins, and they just have a bunch of guys. So
yeah, well, they got what's his name, Goodwin. Yeah, they have him. No, I hear what you're saying. They're going to be playing behind. New England's defense is what is that? The 20th best rank. They give up an average of 258 yards. I just can't. I know Ty God. Everybody loves Ty God and Ty Goat. For some reason I've never liked him. I don't think he's a good quarterback at all. And I'm going to get Buffalo Bills. The Bills Mafia is going to come at me. The whole two of them that follow me. But I'm not a fan. I'd rather play Fitz. Obviously it goes Winston, Smith, Fitz, McCown, than Tyrod. Right? Ranking of streaming.
Simeon is also very interesting, I think, too, because they have a pretty solid – I mean, really the AFC West as a whole, if you haven't noticed, just has an amazing schedule this year.
Yeah.
They have – I think they probably draw the best schedules among all four divisions. So outside of, whenever they probably play, like when Kansas City plays Denver, it's probably going to be low scoring and really Denver plays anybody in the division, it's probably going to be low scoring. But other than that, whenever they're playing anybody else, fire them all up because, I think they all have great schedules. But Trevor Siemian has been surprisingly pretty damn good. I don't think I would have thought that he would have done this well heading into the season when they did what they did with him. But I'm impressed. He's making good decisions. I was hoping for a little more last night because I actually had Emmanuel Sanders in a few DFS lineups, and if just a touchdown would have put me right there in the big time money in one of the GPPs I was in. But hey, it's okay. It's okay.
He got tackled at the 2-yard line, Kev.
I know. A couple of times, he was close, sorry. And I was so angry.
Yeah, he missed a couple of easy throws. Not easy. I mean, who am I? I'm saying they were outs, so that's a tough throw for a young quarterback. But yeah, no, you're right. He's surprised me, definitely. I thought Paxton Lynch was going to be playing there sooner or later, but I think Simeon's got that job right now.
Yeah, Paxton looked like he needs more time when he had that one. That's for sure. So the tight end names look familiar. Very similar to the past couple weeks, but these guys have been blowing it up and are still little owned, surprisingly enough. So Frank, we'll let you start off with the tight ends here because I know you like that Indy tight end over there.
Yes, Jack Doyle. I've had him a couple of times. He's helped me plenty of times make my losses at least respectable because I've been having a horrible fantasy year and at least my losses aren't like over 100. I'm losing by 50 points because Jack Doyle is putting up some nice points for me. So he's just productive. Andrew Luck is looking for him. He's scoring. I love Jack Doyle. You got a couple of nice names on here, but I'll leave them for you. Leave them for you, Kev.
I like to call him Lumberjack Doyle. So he is.
That's nice.
But no, I love some Jack Doyle. I actually picked him up last week in a few leagues. Started him a bunch in DFS. With Dwayne Allen out, he is in a terrific spot, especially with Dante Moncrief, who, though I guess we didn't really mention, Dante Moncrief is expected to return he did return to practice this week. So with him back, that could limit him a little bit. But we all know how much Andrew Luck loves targeting the tight end. So I think he's a fine if he's still available, I would certainly scoop him up, especially with the tight end landscape. But, I'm still believing, though, in another guy on here is Cameron Brate. I'm still believing in Cameron Brate. I know last week, obviously, obviously Mike Evans is there. He's going to absorb a ton of targets. But, with Vincent Jackson gone, I mean, can we really expect Russell Shepard on a weekly basis is going to be able to put up the type of stat line that he did? Because, I mean, he came out of nowhere. I mean, he was just a special teams guy to all of a sudden put up 77 yards and a touchdown last week. But I like Cameron Brate. I think there's a good chance that he's going to build upon what he did last. I mean, because he didn't really do a lot. I think he bounces back this upcoming week. As we mentioned, a great spot, especially against Oakland, who always struggle to stop the tight end. So I love targeting Cameron Brate this week if you have no shot at getting Jack Doyle.
Totally cool with that. Yeah.
Love Cameron Brate. Let us down last week, but he has put up good performances this year. You hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, I actually took Jack Doyle out of my DFS lineup to put Cameron Brate in, and then just hurt. And it hurt. What are you going to
do? Is LA on a bye this week? Who the hell is
yes.
Okay. So my boy Lance Kendricks, who I was going to talk about, not a streaming option in week 8 because he's not playing. Vernon Davis, though, pretty impressive week last week. They have the morning game this Sunday against the Bengals over across the pond. How many morning games are there? I mean, I don't mind playing in London, but 9:30 in the morning, come on.
I love it. I know you guys hate it, but 9:30 in the morning, cracking open a beer at 9:30 in the morning. Well, football's on, and you tell your wife, no, football's on, so this is okay. I'm watching football. I can drink at 9:30 in the morning, right?
I don't mind being on that early. I just always forget. It's like, before it was like there was one game a year that was on 9:30 in the morning. Now it's like
I think it's 6. Isn't there like 6 or something? Maybe 4, or it's going to go up to 6. I don't know, but I love it. And Vernon Davis I don't have his stats in front of me, but I know he's catching touchdowns. But how many targets is Vernon getting?
I think last week he was pretty. Yeah, he caught 6 of 6 last week for 79 yards. Yeah.
Nice, efficient.
Yeah, the week took in 2 of 4 for 15 a touchdown. So,
well, the issue is I guess the elephant in the room is Jordan Reed, who I guess was cleared to practice this week, which doesn't mean that he's going to return this week, but it's a positive sign that he was cleared for practice. So it sounds like he could be back this week. And obviously if he's back, then you want nothing to do with Vernon Davis. So,
right.
But it's certainly a situation to monitor. I don't think I would certainly not use a waiver ad on or any sort of fab budget on Vernon Davis. I don't think, just because of the situation. And like I said, if Jordan Reed does come back, although Jordan Reed is one hit away from being knocked out again. So, that's a touchy situation there, I think, to really target anybody. What about Jacob Tamme, who seems to be a guy who we all just sort of like look past because it's easy to look past him? But he's not ever great, but he certainly puts up serviceable fantasy weeks.
Very touchdown dependent, I think, right? I mean,
and then this week they get what? They get Green Bay, right? Who we all know who are missing their top 3 corners.
Yeah. Well, he started off the season super high of 51, 75, and then, trickles down to 28 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard, and now 16 and 17 the past 2 weeks. He did get a touchdown last week. So, I mean, if you're desperate for tight end help, which most of us are because there's not a lot of good tight ends out there, he has a chance to score every single week.
Yeah, I mean, I would – it all depends. I mean, it all depends who's out there. If you really need a tight end, everybody's on a bye. You got the Giants on a bye. You got Lance Kendricks on a bye. There's a bunch of buys, right?
Tight end, but they're on a bye.
Nah, I know. That's why I was breaking balls. Yeah, I guess Tamme isn't the worst you can do. I mean, Will Tye is way worse than Tamme. But and a good offense, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you pick up a Tamme? And like you said, how much would you put on him, Kevin? Though, like, would you use a fab on him or a fab budget on him? I understand Vernon Davis not using anything on Vernon Davis because that's, once Reed comes back, he's gone. But Tammy's going to be their tight end for the rest of the year, right? So $2, what are you putting on him?
Yeah, I would. If I did, it wouldn't be hardly anything. I would probably hope just let the waivers go through and see if he's still there, because he likely probably would be. If I was actually gonna, and he's obviously not a streaming target, but if I was actually gonna put any fab on a tight end not named Jack Doyle or Cameron Brate this week, it'd be Ladarius Green. Ladarius Green is cleared to practice today, and sounds like he could be back after their bye week this week. So he's certainly a very, very interesting name, and one that could explode down the stretch. Although we've been waiting for that for how long?
For years.
Yeah.
Of course, Roethlisberger is out now too, as he's ready to come back. Good timing there for Green.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I actually think Big Ben will be back. I mean, that's just me. I'm not a doctor by any means, just my own gut feeling. But I know he said last week that I saw on the broadcast that they interviewed him, and he said if it was the playoffs, he'd be playing.
Wow.
But
definitely going to try his best to be back. So it's the busiest bye week that we've seen so far. Ravens, Rams, Dolphins, Giants, Steelers, 49ers, all on a bye. That's 6 teams on a bye this week. Amazingly enough, not a lot of fantasy relevant teams.
Right. Well, you got OBJ, Le'Veon Bell,
Antonio Brown,
Gurley,
Ajayi, I guess. He's been on fire.
Yes.
Mike Wallace has been really good this year.
He has. I totally missed out on Mike Wallace. I had that old man. I'm like, this guy's old. He's not going to do anything in Baltimore. He's doing well. I totally whiffed on that dude. But there's some, like, how many first rounders are on a bye?